I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the date done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Good morning. Yo, the place look dark. Oh my word. Oh, the place looks so dark. Oh, go on. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Light up the light. Bright up the place. You understand me? Get some light in at the place. Hope you're doing well, people. I don't know what's going on with my LIGHT. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. This is Manning's Money, your host, and today we are going to be discussing some football in this show, and then later on we have live stream watch along of the Diamond League where Shelley and Fraser Price will be going up against Shakari and also Sharika in the 100 meters. We have Dos Santos, we have Candice McLeod, will be there. But welcome to the channel. Blessings to one and all. You understand me? Give thanks for life. Every day we are alive, we give thanks, because life is not guaranteed to any of us. And we are living, and so we give thanks for that. You understand me? Because every day we live is a next day to fight and carry on and be strong and trust and to believe. So we give thanks to the Most High God for the life that He has granted us. And the time that we spend here on planet Earth. Just yesterday, you understand me, I heard about a very tragic accident down in Trelawney. Husband and his wife, they went to Montego Bay to deal with some cancer treatment, chemotherapy, and on their way back up, some people were headed to work in a coaster bus, you understand me, and both vehicles collide head on. You understand me? The driver of the coaster died, and the husband and the wife, they died in their vehicle. At the end of the whole thing, you found out that the driver that died and the husband and the wife, condolence to their families. You understand me? They are all from the same community up in a place called Brownstown. You understand? Tragic. So you leave out sometimes and you don't know if you're going to make it back home, So please, love the people around you. Tell them how much you love and appreciate them, because none of us are guaranteed that when we step out of our house, we're going to come back home. Or we're going to come back home and see the people alive. So right now, take some time, stop, pause, and just go so bam and tell somebody you love and appreciate them. You understand me? So to all my friends and my family, right here now, I want to stop and say to you, I love and I appreciate you. You understand me? Yeah. Let's live good for the time that we have here on planet Earth. Yeah? Big thank you to the sponsors of this video. The sponsors are, Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it the most. I know many persons are struggling with back to school financing, but Prestige Finance is here to help you, right? So all you have to do is to give them a call at 876-884-7390, and they will lend you up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. Yes, people, no processing fee, same day processing, 0 to 4% interest rate. If you let them know you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports. Also, big thank you to Launch Legacy, where they bam. All right. Launch Legacy, where they handle risk and they seek legacy for all your personal insurance needs. Yes. Hold on a sec. Yeah. So, for all your personal insurance need in Canada and the USA, visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. All right, so let's get back to some of this. I know some of you are asking. Yesterday, I spoke about the coach, and everybody started the investigation and need to say, listen, I don't need to tell you a name. I gave you enough information so that you can do some research and just wait. I said to you, by next week this will be revealed. Remember, I can be wrong, people. I want to apologize also to all the persons yesterday, because yesterday apparently there were some issues with the with the with the with the with the cables that transmit the internet, right? And so that is what caused the problem. Yeah. Yeah, so there was an issue with the internet, and so the program ended abruptly, but we are up and running again. You understand me? No, man, no, nothing like that, nothing like that. But respect to all of the persons who stay. And listen, the coach will be revealed. I've given you enough information, so just wait, because the discussion. Listen, again, I will say this: I am not the authority and all of these things. The JFF could be playing me for a fool and you for a fool. What maybe we here next week and the very person we said that won't be there will be there. But that is the information I had. Right, and that is the information I shared. But it can change. People are people. Things can change. So please just wait, be patient. I can't share no information. I'm not giving you any name because things can change. Just know that it is from the place that I said it is the person is from. All right, big up Rob Simit, King Jav, and Anonymous OG. All right. All right, so bless up. All right, here's the next thing now, people. Bam, bam, bam. The Reggae Girls will be playing tomorrow at 3 a.m. in the morning. The first game of two against South Korea Friendly International. Good to see some of the old faces back in the camp. This is not a long video because we have a next video coming up at 12:30. Yeah. Hold on a sec. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Good opportunity for some of these girls to prove themselves to make the final cut. All right. So big up. Manchester United, they won their game yesterday. As the Eagle Republic in the building saying, for all who were expecting Shamar Nicholson to leave Russia, shame on you, Boza. I don't, hey, come on, Eagle Republic, don't say that. Yeah. All right. So here is it now. I am going to talk about some because since I've returned, I've got several phone calls. Get Mr. Wellington on. Get Mr. Wellington on because this rule about transfers and quota in the school system is so hard to understand, and we need to know what is going on. He needs to explain it to us. All right. So I have now, right? I have now gathered some information, and I will be sharing it with you, right? So if you are from a high school, you can send this to them so they can get the rules governing transfer, because some people are saying how Jamaican youth can't play and youth from overseas can come play in our league. 10, 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4 of them, and only 3 of the youth them from Jamaica can play. A youth move from Westmoreland and him family move Ghana town because of the pandemic, and now ISSA said that them can't play and all of these things. And what is he supposed to do? Sit out 1 year and then what all of these legitimate concerns. So we are going to answer them. So I am just going to go with what are the frequently asked questions, and this is questions that have been asked in the meetings, discussing the matter, right, of transfers and quotas, and this is concerning all ISSA sports. All right, so let me go. All right, what is the transfer quota rule? Let me explain that to you. The transfer quota rule is a restriction on the number of student athletes that a member, remember that a member school is allowed to have, representing the said school in an ISSA competition after that student has represented another ISSA member school in that said sport. So what it means is that if you're an ISSA member school, you played for one school, there's a rule that governs how many of you can play if you all move to a second school. All right. When does the rule take effect? The rule affects the transfer or change of school done by a student as of January 2019. So what that means is that if you were transferred before 2019, meaning 2018, it would not affect you. But this rule came into effect January 1st, 2019, but we will be applied in all cases starting January 1, 2020. So though it started in 2019, it never started applying until in 2020. Therefore, students who transferred after January 31st, 2018 and sit out the mandatory 1 year waiting period will be affected once they become eligible to participate. Students who are enrolled in sixth form in 2019 are not affected until the 1st of January 2020. So this is where the problem is. So let's say you got transferred January 2019. You have to sit out a year. After you sit out the year, the rule comes into effect 2020, which means if there are 5 of you, only 3 of you can play. So at least 2 of you will miss a further year of participating in the sport. You hear that, right? And it also applies for sixth form, except that it did not take effect until January 2020. So that means a child who goes to a school 2019 from one ISSA member school would have sat out 1 year, the 2029 season. They could have played in they sat out 2019 season, so they played 2020. Remember, there was no competition. So 2020, they played, right? So now they have to miss a next year, and they would not be able to play in 2022 according to this rule, which means they'll be missing 2 seasons of schoolboy football if they got transferred. Hope it making sense. It says, at what grade level is quota rule applied? The quota rule is applicable at all grade levels, 7 to 13. Once a student athlete has previously represented another ISSA member school. All right? So that means if you are in first form and you did one semester and you move, the rule applies. If you move and you're going to second form, it applies. Third form, it applies. It don't matter. It applies from grade 7 to grade 13. All right? Is there a time limit and the quota restriction applied to student athlete? No time restriction. That's the answer. Once a student athlete transfers from one ISSA member school to another, having already represented his or her previous school, he or she will be regarded as a part of the new school's quota for the duration of his or her tenure at the school. There are, however, a few exceptions when a student athlete may not be counted as part of this new quota rule. So what they're saying is that as long as you move from a school, even if you move in first form and you get to sixth form, you're still part of the quota rule. Now, the only issue I have with this is that really and truly, sixth form is not high school because you have already graduated from high school. So if you have sixth form, I think all rules and you have two choices. One thing I would say ISSA needs to do is that, listen, sixth form, nobody in sixth form this should apply to. No rule should apply to them because it's really junior college that they are in. The only rule that should work for sixth form is that nobody in sixth form should be allowed to play in schoolboy football competition. Or everybody in sixth form, no matter what, should be allowed to play because you have already graduated high school. Graduation is not kept after upper six. You graduate after fifth form, 11th grade. Unless they go move graduation for those people who go to sixth form to when they complete sixth form. So graduation is school leaving. So if I have left school, how does this rule apply to me? In other words, if I move from Ocho Rios High, I graduate Ocho Rios High, I'm starting a brand new school. It's like I graduate from basic school and I'm going to start primary school, or from primary school and start in high school. This is my first. So when I graduate from fifth form at Ochi and I do sixth form at Marcus Garvey Technical, I am a new student with no rules applying. That is where I think this rule needs to be altered because you graduate high school at fifth form. Am I making sense, people? So this rule of quota should not apply to people who are in sixth form. It should apply from grade 7 to 11. The only way you're going to do it is if you move the graduation of your sixth formers to the end of sixth form. So I think that is something ISSA needs to consider. So then they said, what are the exceptions applicable to transfer student athletes by the quota rule? The exceptions are as follows. Where a student transferred to a member school but never represented his or her previous school in sport, he or she is being registered at his or her new school, he will never be counted in a quota for his or her new school. So the exception is, let me tell you, right? They are saying that if you, for example, never played sport at your school and you go to a new school, the fact that you never played sport, means that the rule does not apply to you. The rule does not apply to you. All right? We're getting that so far, right? I'm trying to see if I can bring this up so you guys can also see it as I go through it. It may not be Let me see if I can have it on the screen to share with you as I go through. So that is the rule, right? The rule is if you never played sport or if you never participated in an ISSA competition in one school and you go to a next school, then you are free to participate and the quota rule would not apply to you. That makes a lot of sense to me. All right? That makes a lot of sense to me. All right, let's see if we can find the quota rule. I think this is it right here. All right, I'm trying to work on it so you can see it, people. All right, so let me do it this way. And right, so I'm going to people. I'm trying to work. I'm working with you. I want to make this a little bit bigger so that you can see it. Right, so I've read some of them already. So let me just go to where I am at. Exception, right? This is where we are at right here. All right, so where a student, B, this is the other exception, where a student transfer to another member school, he or she will not be counted as a part of the new school quota for a sport where he or she previous school is not registered to compete in any specified season in question. All right, so this is a little bit, I'm not so sure. All right, so where a student transfer to another school, they will not be counted as a part of this new school quota for a sport where the student previous school is not registered. Say, for example, my school never played hockey, right? I'm not counted as a quota student in a new school if my previous school never played hockey. The question though is that, what if a school sits out the competition for a season or a couple of seasons? What ISSA is saying is that the quota rule still applies because the school your previous school did participate in the sport. All right. So the quota number for each sport varies as indicated. All right. So listen to this now, people. Football. For football, only 3 quota players. Cricket, 3. And hockey, 3. Netball, 2. Volleyball, 2. Basketball, 2. Swimming, 1. Table tennis, 1. Athletics, you get 2 in class 4, 2 in class 3, 2 in class 2, 2 in class 1. I think this needs to be looked at because you are not given 3 at under 14, 3 at under 16, and 3 at the Costa Cup. And at the end of the day, when you get to the Costa Cup and those players mature, all of them end up can't play, you can still only use 3, right? So say your under 16 player can play the Costa Cup. He would not be able to play based on the rule because only 3 are allowed. I don't know if you understand I hope you understand me. So look at track and field. What I want to know is if you have 2 in class 2 and they're first year class 2, you have 1 in class 3 who is a last year class 3. So the next season, that athlete goes up to class 2. And class 2 already has 2. What ISSA is saying that one of those athletes can participate. Those they may have participated the last year. This part of the rule I don't agree with. I believe that once you have participated for the school, this quota rule must be null and void. Once you become legible, you cannot become illegible. You can't. It says the quota number is the number of transfer student athlete that may be registered to represent any age group team in respective sport. For example, there may be a maximum of 3 transfer quota in a school under 14 cricket team. The same school may have 3 separate transfer under 16, under 19. You see what I'm telling you, people? So They are saying that you can have 3 in your under 14 team, 3 in your under 16 team, 3 in your under 19 team. They could be playing for your football team or playing for your cricket team. However, 3 separate. Watch this. If the under 16 player can play in the under 19, you have to stop one of the under 19s to allow the under 16 to play for the under 19, though the under 16, I think that part of the rule I don't agree with. Let me hear from some of you. I don't agree with that part of the rule. I don't. I don't agree with it. So let me say it again. What they are saying in this rule, which I don't agree with, if you say let's use St. Elizabeth Technical, less controversial. They have 3 under 14s, 3 under 16s, and 3 under 19s. ISSA is saying that even though the 3 can play under 14 and the 3 can play under 16, if any of them are good enough for you to have them play in the under 19, which is the DaCosta Cup or Manning Cup, you'd have to stop 2 players to play. So if you want to use your 3 under 14 in the DaCosta Cup, you'd have to stop your 3 under 19 who are transferred. Even if they have sat out a year in the school already, I don't agree with that part of the rule. Here is why. Once I represent the school, if I'm 13 years old, I should not be denied the opportunity if I'm good enough to play under 16 or good enough to play the DaCosta Cup or Manning Cup. And if I'm in my last year, our 3 athletes are in their last year of Manning Cup, seeking to get scholarship to go overseas, and there's a 13-year-old, a school is put in a position where it could deter or, cut off the growth process for the 13-year-old or stop the scholarship for one of the 19-year-old because of the rule. That is a part of the rule that I don't necessarily like. I think what should happen, if the player is in the school, once they have participated once and they have sat out a year, I think once you have done that, once you have sat out a year, you should be allowed to participate for the school at any level. At any level. Because I could have a son, for example, who is a good footballer, but could run at champs. And because of this rule, he can't participate in both sports. And though I understand what ISSA is trying to do, I think sometimes rules can become problems. Though the heart of what they are trying to do is absolutely right. I think they are trying to find ways to eliminate the amount of kids just moving and playing and all of that. And that needs to be done. But at the same time, it could be affecting the progress of kids' development in the school system. All right. Mr. Porter says, quota rules in high school sport is irrelevant because the students are amateur and not professional, so it makes no sense. Leave the youth, let them represent the school regardless of transfer. Yeah, I was just trying to call you back, Gunner's boss, so you can call in. People also remember it is Super Friday. So on Super Fridays, we ask people to send in comments with super chats and super stickers in if you can. All right. Hit the like button also, share and subscribe if you have not. Yeah. Agree with you. If all of them are 19, they shouldn't be. Agree with that comment. I've long been saying that, Winston. All right. So there's more to this rule, right? So this is the quota applied only to those actively participating in a competition? The quota is applicable to the full list of registered students for all competition. Therefore, schools are not allowed to register more student athletes than allowed by the quota. In other words, you can't even register more than the 3. Right? Can student athletes who are registered and form part of the quota for a competition be replaced, substituted in a school is registered? No. So in other words, if you register the student today and the student, God forbid, migrates tomorrow, what ISSA is saying that you cannot replace the student. You have used up one of your 3 slots. So if for any reason you register 3 students to play and the 3 of them migrate, or one, God forbid, dies or gets sick, ISSA is saying that you have used up your 3 slots. There can be no replacement. I don't agree with that either. I understand it, but I don't agree. Welcome to the show, caller.
Pick up yourself, man.
Yeah, man. Respect. What say you?
Bless up yourself, people in the comment section. My first thing to say is like, share, and comment on the video. You know, I find I say that, you know. Man.
Yes.
This transfer portal thing, the transfer thing we are talking about. Because I want to read one text to you, you know. Because this morning I wake up and I feel like a grown up. I want to read a text here to you.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Granddad, I went to my first football game yesterday. It was so much fun. We won. Chris Paul was there as well.
Okay, so your grandson play football.
Well, I'm a granddaughter, that man.
Oh, your granddaughter. Oh.
My granddaughter. Me never tell you, my granddaughter just our second week this first year freshman at Wake Forest.
And she play football. She play soccer.
No, man, she went to the game.
Okay.
Remember, I know.
No, I'm just asking that because you don't have no football in your genes, you know. So I wonder how she get it.
What? No, man. You see, listen to me. My granddaughter just turned 18 and I go to college, you know, man. And when she texts me, you know, and tell me that she went to her first NCAA American college football game and Chris Paul was there. You know, so she know why she tell me about Chris Paul was there. She knows me a sports guru. She knows me a veteran. She knows I'm a thing that that's a thing there. You see it?
Boss. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I want more doctor that in our family, you know. Straight out of Sterling. Sterling strong, we say, you know, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
So when me ask now about this transfer thing, you know. Why all of a sudden all this whole heap of transfer are going in a Jamaica high school?
Because I think, to me, I feel like some schools felt like big school were taking their kids. That's one. Also, I feel like some schools, some of the persons who lead administration feel like there was some unfair advantage to certain traditional schools. And in other words, this is an attempt, I believe, to hurt the traditional successful school in sports. But I think what is happening is now the non-traditional or the teams that don't normally win are being affected by how the rule is being applied. So let me give an example. When like a St. Jago, because this is in the newspaper, can probably use Clout or JC or the bigger school, KC, some of the other schools, they probably are able to get a lot more kids from overseas that will be allowed to play. other schools who would have depended on like transfers are not able to anymore. So though the rule makes sense, and I understand the heart of the rule, I think it is hurting some of those middle tier school who were just getting better, developing programs and all of that. And I think this is where ISSA needs to look at the application of the rule. Yeah.
Man, at time people for run away ISSA do a foolishness, ISSA do, you know. Let me tell you straight up right now. ISSA run high school sports in a Jamaica like how you run collegiate sports in America and some and NCAA. How come all of a sudden we have high schoolers from some other nation, some other island, some other country in our high school system? Them parents move and live in a zip code.
Yeah, man. But I don't have a problem with that. I think I
have a problem with it because this is not college. This is high school. High school is still the local community, local kids in our community.
No, but we are
high school.
We are one Caribbean, brother.
No, we are one Caribbean. But hear this now. My son cannot live in the United States and attend school in a Jamaica if him live in America. He have to live in Jamaica.
Yeah, but these kids live in Jamaica. They are living. All of these kids are living in Jamaica.
They moved there just for the education, for the college time, or them.
They have moved to Jamaica for their high school years.
No, man, you're not supposed to move to Jamaica for high school year, man. You have to stay in your country and go to high school. And
so should a Jamaican move to the? Should a Jamaican hold on there? Should a Jamaican move to the United States and go to high school?
If you migrate, it is a different thing. Not just move from Jamaica to come to high school, America, brother. That's when you move to go to college, that's to the next level. And that me I talk about. Them run the thing like a semi-pro. No, I look at them. How you bring 5 youth from Guyana to come put in our high school, Upper Papine, when we have some youth Upper Papine we can't even get in at them high school there. Does these youth pass the entry-level exams that they take to go into this school and all these things? Or they just drop them in there because them come from overseas and them can play and run and do this?
What I'm saying though, the guy from up by Papine that you are talking about, he can also go to Papine.
I'm not talking. I just use Papine to my ear that I reference.
No, I'm just responding to that. And any community, porous. So all the areas in Jamaica have a high school. I don't think at least going to JC is denying a Jamaican student a space at JC.
Of course, why not?
No, how?
Why not?
No, it's not.
Why not?
It's not denying.
Why not?
Listen, until somebody can prove to me that what JC has done stop some other kid from getting it or Jago, it don't happen. No, man. Everybody still gets placed in high school. What I'm saying to you, though, Piney, is that everybody still get placed in a high school regardless of what the schools do.
But they say, I don't think you bring these kids from over these other places, come to Jamaica to place them in a high school just because you want to educate them.
Yeah, but they are being educated. They are being educated though.
High school, when we say education, we talk about academic. But
that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you though, but Jamaica is one of the top performers educationally in the Caribbean. One of the top. So when a kid come from one of those other Caribbean countries to come to Jamaica, even if it's for sport, because remember, I have not heard of one yet who have come and they have not done well academically.
Me not really like the NCAA. Me not like the ISSA rule. ISSA rule a college rule them the rule and then maybe true we not have enough college. They have these high schools performing as if they are college. But it's a different rule for high school. The rule them and all them things what they do with high school as it's too strict and too stringent and all this confusion about high school, what you call it, high school transfer and all these things. I understand if I live in Manchester and I happen to move to Kingston and my son was going to Manchester High School and playing football there, and I have to move to Kingston now. And he can
What is I saying that if you move from Manchester for work, say you're a doctor and you work in Manchester, they move you to KPH and you have to move. Issa is saying to you, your son can't play no football. He must play for Manchester. And that I have a problem with.
He's supposed to play. He's supposed to play in Kingston because he's supposed to play.
ISSA is saying that the only way he's allowed to play is if he is like between 1, 2, and 3. If he's the 4th one, somebody else will have to lose their place for him to play because only 3 are allowed. That is why I'm saying I have a problem with how that rule is applied. Do I understand why the rule is necessary?
What last night I watched last night because the college football season start, the NCAA football, and I'm watching where all these schools, like last night Purdue play Penn State, and I watched the Purdue quarterback. He is a top quarterback and he was transferred. But here them have special rules for transfer. You have a thing with them calling them the hardship rule. You see the hardship rule now. If I think I am as good a quarterback or a receiver as Manning's man, but because Manning's man is getting all the time and I'm getting enough time to play, that is hardship for me because I can't
you can move and play elsewhere.
You move and you don't get redshirted. You play the same year you move.
All right,
because it's hardship while you move.
All right,
but if I move, it's hard to hold up the Manning's man. Give me a sec. If I move from St. Elizabeth to Kingston, it's hardship rules that now, that's why my son have to move with me because we can't afford to live at both places. So if we cannot afford to live in both places, how am I going to afford to transport him back and forth or whatever? What is the school, the high school going to do to make sure, to accommodate my son?
ISSA, that's what I'm saying to you. You have to listen to me. ISSA, that is where now you and I agree. I am saying that is part of the rule that ISSA have to look at people migrating. People are moving into new communities. And where that happens, I think they need to consider the application of the rule. Though people will find a way to get around it. Let me just say this. Remember also, they are saying, because remember, you could say, okay, let my son, because there are 2 issues I have. One, your son will still have to sit out a year. So your son sits out a year, and if he sits out a year, and after sitting out a year, he plays. So he sits out year 1, year 2 he plays. Say year 3, a next quota student comes in. The school is also now put in a dilemma. They probably say, listen, I'm going to drop your son. So yours, because the other person who they brought in is 18 and have 1 year, and your son have 2 years. So your son out of his 4 years will miss 2 years just because of rules. So one of my suggestion is this. One of my suggestion is this. Once you miss a year and play, no matter what, you're not supposed to miss no other year.
My thing is, you're supposed to have the rules. Like, you're supposed to implement the hardship rule. That means to say, if it based on say, because me was a farmer, KC or JC or whichever old boy, I happen to be living in the rural part or somewhere now. And then because I want my son or my son want to play at my alma mater. No, there is no hardship there. It's just a choice where you want to choose to play. So that kid now, you can't make him sit out as long as you choose to make him sit out. But if him a move because the parents a move, or him a move because the coach not favor him to play and is playing someone else and he is that good, him supposed to play as he move. No red shirt, not to go on there. So.
All right, this is
just a transfer.
This is a good one, right? So I like this question at Eagle Republic. He says this is a non-football question, but it is, I'll let me tell you why. He says, my little cousin lives in Barretown, which is near Flankers, which is in Montego Bay. And she passed her, or she was placed, at Rossi's, which is in Hanover. So now, if that parent decide Hanover is too far, given all of the crime in Jamaica, I'd rather my daughter stay close to me, and sends the daughter to a school in St. James. That daughter, right, can't play no sport.
Because his choice that,
But that is hardship because I cannot afford the kind of money to have my child travel so far. So if I keep them at a school close to me, based on the reality of life's situation.
Economically
Yeah,
better for me.
my
That's
child
the same
know.
question I ask.
Mm,
That's the same question me I ask. If what you're gonna do to help
yeah.
that parent
So I think
to
because the
make him
system, because the system was being abused, the rule has come in and the rule has gone too hard. It's like the rule has gone in overdrive.
well, I think them cut out the transfer. If the transfer now work right, restart it over and rewrite it, reword it, rewrite it, and look into it seriously. Since you know I run it like a college, you know I run high school like a college. Look into it and reorganize the thing. Now, let me touch a little topic now.
Yes.
You remember we have a conversation one time where we talk about high school and them overwork the youth them, and when them reach the way, by the time them get to pro, them burn out, and that's why enough of them last and not get into it, not get nowhere. That's why we was talking about if you get the opportunity to turn pro at 16, 17, 18, if you're that good and the professional outfitter look for you, go ahead and get that money. There is a study out now that shows that a pitcher who pitch a lot in the major in like what you call it, the Little League World Series. If you throw a certain amount of strikes, you have a 90 or 85 to 90% chance of developing Tommy John by the time you reach 25 other professionals. And they might show you now all of the top pitcher them now I go through these Tommy John surgery and all these things, who go through the little league and playing at the minor league and all these things coming up. So that's something to look into. I'm gonna send you the article.
Yeah, man. Listen, we have a few minutes to go because we have our the Diamond League.
Yeah, I gone now. I have no super. I don't remember say a super Saturday people. They drop a thing for me.
Today is actually Friday.
Friday, no Friday, Super Friday, man, on Friday. And so
no, because they said Super Saturday.
I don't really check the day them right now. Maybe tomorrow me I get money, so tomorrow check. Anyway, big up on yourself, people. I know Jamaica, me don't say enjoy a holiday. I know holiday in Jamaica, Labor Day week in America. So the people them in America wanna enjoy the Labor Day, I wanna go out and go party, be safe and be careful out there because I know it's dangerous out there. See the young lady, her mother just recently died and she buried her mother, Miss Frenchie, and a couple nights ago she ride a bicycle on a girl in a Brooklyn in a dance, and next thing you know, say the woman pull out a gun out her brazier and shoot her and kill her in the dance and appear things. So no be careful out here. I step on nobody to if you know have to do it and step on them to just say excuse me, and if you know have to even brush it off, put in a kerchief, wanna do it, no make nobody kill you out there over the holiday. I thought the people them they are foreign and the people them we are Jamaica enjoying the weekend and doing nothing. Man, go on, catch you later.
All right, bless up, Piney. All right, that was Piney for you. All right, but interesting. I like I said, I think there's a place for the rule, but it needs to be looked at. All right, so it goes on with the quota system. Is the mandatory 1 year rule still in place? Yes, it means that your quota, if you're in the quota, you still have to miss a year. And it is very, very tough rule. My position is once I've played for the school, after sitting out a year, I should no longer be counted as a quota. So it's hard to have kids playing under 13, under 14, who come from under 14 and under 16. And when all 6 of them get up to the DACA program, you say to them, only 3 of you can play. Though they would have been in the school from first and second form, and they get to sixth form, and now out of that, I think it has to be looked up. Bless up Jeff Nicholson, Jason, blessings, Rockford, blessings, man. It also says if a student returned to his previous school after transferring to and representing another ISSA member school, will the quota rule be applied to him? Yes. So if you move from Manchester, like our caller just said, and then you move to KC, and then you have your father is a superintendent of police, and you have to move back to, say he moves to Westmoreland, and you go to Petersfield High School. You would not be able to play. The quota rules still apply to you. Or if you go back to Manchester, it still apply. It says transfer student will not be allowed to participate if transferred amongst member school more than once. And so if you transfer among member school more than once, you will not be allowed to participate in ISSA competition. What does this mean? It means that effective the 1st of January 2020, no student athlete will be allowed to compete for a third school in any ISSA competition. Therefore, having represented two previous schools in an ISSA competition, all students will be barred from another school. So if you move in second form from one school to another, and you go to sixth form at the next school, you cannot play. I do not agree with this rule, especially as it applies to sixth form, because you have already graduated high school. Either you stop all sixth formers, or you have a completely different rule for sixth form, because sixth form is not high school. It's not. The only way that can happen is if you played before 2019. Is a change of school to or at sixth form regarded as a transfer? Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying. But we're going to stop right here, people, because we have a lot more, and we have a 12:30 coming up, right? Thank you, Eagle Republic, for the super chat. I don't know. Pardon. All right. Bless up, Eagle Republic. Thank you for that, sir. Yeah. FIFA should be notified all this. I don't think FIFA can. I'm wondering if there could be some dialogue. And listen. Well, they just made sixth form mandatory, but all right. So Karim, if I graduate, when do I graduate? When does a person graduate from high school? Grade 11 or fifth form. You have graduated. Sixth form is a new program, which is really what the government is doing, is saying after fifth form, go into junior college and do something. It is not high school. I differ. It is not high school. So a different rule should apply. I think I agree with the earlier comment that says, let sixth form then play a different rule and just run the school competition from 7th grade to 11th grade. Right? So sixth form is not mandatory. It is mandatory to be in high school until 18. So a child can repeat first form and second form and still leave school at 18 without going to the sixth form program. Thank you, leader. That's what I'm saying. I raised that example earlier, Eagle Republic. If the mother or the father is a police officer and get transferred to 3 different parishes, the kid has to stay in one of the schools, because if he goes to a third school, that is the problem. Yeah. This one says youngsters who are kicked out or cannot make their school team will be at a disadvantage. Listen, yeah, this is that's a very good point. Sometimes a child does something at 13, get expelled, problems, get expelled. Say you have a young lady, God forbid, she gets pregnant. Because of the embarrassment, she probably will move and change the school. But she recovers and now she can do track and field. Quota rule apply. Like some of these things, I think the rule need to look at how it is applied. Yeah, it is a rule, and I know the heart of the rule is to really deal with some of the abuse of the system. But now the system could be abusing the people. So first, the people with the excess moving of kids, they were abusing the system. Now the system puts rule in place that could be viewed as abusing the people. There is more to come on this because there's a whole lot more that I have about this whole transfer thing. I haven't even touched how the overseas part work yet and when they come in. But we're going to do that on a separate show. On a separate show. I just want to know, just give you some transfer. Yeah, so I am going to talk to Leader because Leader is one of those transfer persons for real. Rob Simit. But let me give you some transfer news. In the JPL, Odean Murray, I think he's a captain at Humble Lions. He is at Mount Pleasant, plays right back. And Kimani Campbell, I think his name is. He seemed to have been transferred to Mount Pleasant as well. And so Mount Pleasant filling the void, 2 areas where they have had some issues, right back and left back. They have nailed down 2 transfers in those areas. I know Fresh God may not be happy because this is one of his better players, right? Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Rockford. They need to go and check it out, the board. But think about it, people. So a young girl, she gets pregnant in high school. You know, say it happened in a rural area. The family decides to send her to a urban area school. That child, having gone through pregnancy, will have to sit out a year. And if other kids are there, she may not be able to play or participate in sport that she's gifted at. That could give her an opportunity. Now, I think what this rule is doing, because this rule was meant to hurt the bigger schools. I think the bigger schools have, because they are bigger, they have found ways to still be good in spite of the rules. And so now the rule that was meant to affect the big powerhouses in school sport is affecting the same schools that it was meant to protect. So now the St. Catherine High School and the Edwin Allen and these schools are being affected by the rule, while the bigger schools have just expanded their pool and their reach. This has been question and answers. Leader, me just read the thing. It says from first form, the only way that applies is if you're coming from a non-ISSA member school. Once you go to the school, you're quoted as part of a quota from you're coming from a next ISSA member school. Me read the rule. Me have the rule right up there. Check it. The age thing has to do with if you're coming from a non-ISSA member school. Like if you're coming from Hillel. All right. But people, listen, this has been question and answer concerning ISSA rules, fair or unfair. I am Manning's man. This has been I Am Sure Sports, the football show. Listen, before you go, please hit the like button, subscribe, like, and share. Right after this, we will be doing our track and field show. We'll be doing the Diamond League, where we'll be discussing it live with Pioneer and Preach and Chris Lynch and a whole list of other guests. Please join us for that. Do we say? What do we say? What do we say, people? We are over and we are OUT. Oh,
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Air this. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Rios, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha! Yeah, someone on for the food from we young, from we day, you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.